My name is Lon Safko, co-author of the Social Media Bible published by John Wiley & Sons, the most comprehensive book ever written on the subject of social media. And today we are here with Kakul Srivastava, the general manager for Yahoo's Flickr, and we're going to be talking today about Yahoo, Flickr, photo sharing, social media, and all kinds of other things that are cool. So, Kakul, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is great. This will be fun.
This is great. Can you please tell the listeners a little bit about who you are, what your background is, what you do at Yahoo?
Sure. So I'm the general manager of Flickr. I've been part of the team since the acquisition happened. And when I joined the team, we were at about 300,000 registered users. Today, we're over 30 million users for Flickr. We have close to 3 billion page views on a monthly basis and about 60 million uniques on a monthly basis.
Wow.
So we've grown quite a bit. It's been an incredible ride.
I can't imagine trying to keep up with that type of growth.
It's been incredible.
Wow. Well, could you tell our listeners, I mean, this is amazing, and everybody's going to want to know what this is all about. If you've never done photo sharing, can you kind of summarize what Flickr is?
Sure. So Flickr at its core is two things. First and foremost, it's a photo sharing site, making it easier for people to share what's happening with their lives, with their friends, their family, or potentially with the world. And it's really this last part, which is the second part of what Flickr is, which is it really is a social media site. You think about traditional media businesses, you think about places where you find out about news and information. Flickr fundamentally is that. At the scale that we are today, we have 3 million photos uploaded on a daily basis. And you can imagine the sound of 3 million photo shutters snapping across the world on any given day. We are really capturing what is happening in the world, in people's lives, through very, very personal perspectives. So we really see our vision as being the eyes of the world and really making that possible.
That is absolutely so true. It really is the eyes of the world. When you're looking at 3 million photographs that people have taken the time to pick out probably as the best photographs they have taken, and that because they want to share those are really the best photographs on the planet, and you're getting and accumulating 3 million of them a day.
Yeah, it is absolutely amazing and actually quite humbling to be part of the team that makes that possible.
Wow, yeah, I would totally be proud of that. If somebody wanted to actually start doing some photo sharing, is it difficult? Is it expensive? What's the process?
That's a great question. It actually is really easy. I think to start with, you have to take a photo. And luckily for us, today you can take a photo with almost any device out there. Camera phones, which everyone has, I think they're an average of 3 camera phones for every human on the planet that are being used right now. That's a really incredible number. And almost all of them have photo sharing features in them, not to mention the huge adoption of digital cameras as well across the board. So it's really easy to start taking photos, and then sharing them is really the next step. And that happens through the pervasiveness of Internet connections, not only through traditional devices like the PC, but again through phones and other devices as well. So it's actually pretty easy to get started. And then for Flickr itself, for example, if you snap a shot with your camera phone, you just have to send it to an email address here with Flickr, and it'll be uploaded to your Flickr page, so that all of your friends and family can see what you're doing at that given moment.
And that's one of the things that I find Flickr really exciting, is that with this digital convergence in social media, that you can actually just pull out your cell phone, take a picture, hit a button, and next thing you know, it's automatically posted to Flickr, and the entire world has access to it.
Yep. Yeah, no, it is amazing. And of course, I mean, there is the sort of the mobile aspect of it, which is, a really, really pervasive platform where you can just take it from any camera phone and share it immediately. Beyond that, we are integrated with basically almost all of the leading desktop photo applications, so you can go, through any of the applications that people like to use and upload to Flickr from there. And of course, probably the dominant way of sharing to Flickr is through our website and through our uploader applications, where you can just drag and drop a bunch of photos or video, for that matter, and share it with your friends and family.
And that's one of the things I love too, is the way you guys kind of cooperate with everybody else. For example, on both of my websites, the Social Media Bible as well as lonsafko.com, I have a little bit of a widget or a plugin where my homepage continuously pulls my photographs from Flickr and displays them on each of my web pages, so that my followers can actually see all of my Flickr photographs right there on my page without having to go someplace else.
Absolutely, and as you've probably seen in the research for your book, that's a key component of social media. Not only can anyone really take social media and share social media, but there are so many different ways of consuming social media. You don't have to go to one website in particular, but the social media can actually be syndicated, and the content is available very openly.
And that's exciting that it's completely transparent across all of these different platforms.
Exactly.
Can you give me an example of how some individuals or even businesses, let's start maybe with individuals, what are they actually doing with the photographs? What's the purpose of them uploading?
That is it's a simple question, but there are so many incredible things that people are doing with photo sharing. And it starts with something very basic, which is, this is something that's happening in my life and I want to share it. And if you think about sort of the early days of photography, what people really were trying to do was, hold on to a memory. This is an important day. This is a birthday, for example. I'm going to take photos and share those with people. With digital, the ease of sharing as well as the ease of capturing these moments have really expanded those uses from beyond just, I want to hold on to this particular moment, to I want to document everything that's meaningful to me in my life, and that can be everything from, here's an interesting piece of graffiti that I saw at the bus stop I was waiting in, or, oh my God, there's a protest going on down the street from my office. I can capture it. Or, I'm in Galveston, Texas right now, and there's a hurricane, and I think the world might want to see this. So it's really, really amazing how people are capturing and sharing what they're seeing. But what's interesting about a site like Flickr that's really not just about this content, but the way communities form around this content is that people start interacting with this content in a very interesting way. So you almost have these second order community effects starting to happen. So, for example, one of the really biggest groups on Flickr is something called Squared Circle, and the premise of the group is really simple, which is people take a photograph of something circular and they crop it to a square and they upload it to this particular group. But what this group has been able to do, I think it's 25,000 people or more, they've been able to create this incredible shared collaborative work that is absolutely, absolutely stunning and beautiful to look at. It's like nothing else.
Wow.
There's another, similar collaboration going on of looking at photographs of stick figures that are in dangerous situations. There's an entire group dedicated to recording what's in somebody's bag at a particular given time. So you just start to see all of these really incredible collaborative projects start to happen. And one of the most interesting ones that's happening at Flickr right now is called the Flickr Commons, where libraries like the Smithsonian or the Library of Congress or the British Tate Gallery are uploading some of their archival photography collections and allowing Flickr members to go through this content and find meaning in the content that we wouldn't have been able to find was it not in the hands of so many people. And it's been just really incredible to see how much incredible sort of metadata and meaning our members have been able to find in some of this content. One of my favorites is this example of a photo of some dock workers leaving the shipyard in the afternoon, and one of the comments on the photo is by a Flickr member who says, I remember as a kid, we lived down the street from the shipyard, and at night we would see the light of the welding torches.
Wow.
And that's a really poignant moment that, gives life to that photo in a way that particular photo sitting in a library archive never would. So again, the kinds of things that people are starting to do with photo sharing is just really tremendous. Everything from, the most banal thing of here's what I had for my lunch today, to just a deep and incredibly moving understanding of the world around us. It's very powerful.
Those are incredible examples. I mean, you're right. I mean, it really is like slices into human nature and society. Cross sections. Wow.
It is incredible.
And the Smithsonian. I mean, I'm fascinated by the Smithsonian. I have 18 of my inventions in the Smithsonian. And I just love going there and just being surrounded by all that history. And to be able to go online, I never even thought about it. What a wonderful archive, what a resource that would be.
Yep.
Oh, gee, I'm getting chills. Thank you. This is great. From the business, this book primarily is going to focus on the business aspects of social media. Can you think off the top of your head of any type of business applications that companies are using Flickr for?
Oh, absolutely. So there are a ton of ways. First, there's a whole conversation we can have about Flickr as a business, and we are a successful one, and we can talk about that. Separately, there are a number of ways that businesses can use photo sharing to further their business goals. One, sort of most obvious thing is photos, like any other media, would be a great way to share what it is that your business does and to help people understand the services that your business provides. Separately from that, photo sharing is actually a really great way to humanize your business. So one thing that Flickr does, and a lot of businesses are starting to do this, is to actually use photography done by their employees to say, here's what it takes to make the sausage, as it were. Here are employees at work, and here are employees at play, and here are employees interacting with each other to provide the best service. And that's really, really interesting as well. Flickr, like many other social media businesses, we have an advertising aspect to our business as well, and certainly that's a robust and growing field.
Wow. Geez, that's such a great idea. What you just mentioned about humanizing the business is that social media, for the first time, is creating this two-way communication and kind of taking the veil off of corporations and companies and kind of getting you inside and opening up this line of communication. And if you can, see the employees, see them at work, or see happy customers using your product or your service.
It's incredible. I mean, one of the reasons that businesses come to Flickr is to actually engage with some of their customers who are using their products. If you search for pretty much any brand name on Flickr, you will find tens, if not hundreds, of groups about that particular product or brand name, where Flickr members are talking about the products or the brand and why it's interesting or helpful or not helpful to them. And that's an incredible way to have this two-way communication with your customers.
So Flickr is actually enabling around photo sharing to create trusted networks.
That's exactly it.
Wow. See, this is so much deeper than I would ever think. I mean, when you talk to most people, especially the novice, they'll say, okay, well, photo sharing. I upload some photos and I tell Grandma to go look at them. But this is so much more robust than that. Great stories. You'd mentioned earlier that Flickr as a business itself has been successful. What can you share with us about the company itself?
Well, I did share some of the growth numbers over time, and I think the same way that our overall member and usage growth has grown, our revenues have grown according to that, and it's actually been very successful. Unfortunately, I can't share any numbers specifically, but as a business, we have been successful, and we have basically four tenets of our business.
Mm-hmm.
The first is a premium account, or pro account, as we call it, which is a subscription service, and of course that's a sort of tried and true and loved model in the traditional media world. The second aspect is advertising, also known and loved model in traditional media, and has very, very interesting implications on the social media side of the world, with targeting and these rich two-way conversations that we were talking about. Third, and this is something that's more related to photo sharing than the social media aspect of it, which is that there are a lot of services that people want to have around their photos, whether it's standard prints or books or canvas prints of their photos, or canvas prints of other people's photos. There's a lot of incredible art that's being shared on Flickr, so there's a sort of a rich business there. And then the fourth, and this is probably the most recent from a Flickr perspective, is a licensing business. And you might have heard of our partnership recently that we announced with Getty Images, and that's going to allow Flickr members to actually monetize their images by licensing them.
Really? No, I wasn't familiar with that. How does this play into the new Creative Commons Act?
So there are two different things. One is the Commons Project, which we were talking about earlier, which is a way for institutions like the Library of Congress to share their images on Flickr. And that's actually a completely separate initiative than in the industry what's known as Creative Commons, which is a way to allow users to apply licenses to their images governing usage of how their content can be used. And our partnership with Getty Images lives right alongside our incredibly strong support for the Creative Commons as well. It's just another opportunity for people to choose how they want to license their image.
And I love to hear that, because basically the Internet's been around 13 or so years, almost 14 years. And in the beginning it was kind of a free-for-all. It was the Wild West. If you put something up there, just about anybody could steal it and use it any way they can. And since the Creative Commons and the Getty Images licensing, it sounds like we're trying to get a little bit more fair about it. If it's available for public domain, then it's so noted. And if it's for license, that's also noted. And I think that kind of levels the playing field and lets everybody know where they stand.
Yep. That's exactly it.
That's great.
It's just driving towards that transparency that we were saying is so critical to social media.
That's incredible. I'm really glad to hear that Flickr really takes that serious. I mean, that's great, because that'll make me feel a lot more comfortable if I wanted to upload some photographs that I think could be stolen, for example.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We do take it very seriously. It is absolutely, absolutely core to our values at Flickr.
That is so cool. That is absolutely excellent. Is there anything else that you can tell me about Yahoo, Flickr, your time there, what your customers are doing? Anything else like that?
It's just a great field to be in. One of the things that we love about being here at Flickr and as part of Yahoo is we really are at the epicenter of some of the most interesting things that are happening with social on the Internet. Yahoo has a deep commitment to the power of people and empowering people to do great things. You've probably heard a lot about Yahoo's open strategy, and this is really, social media is really a key part of that. So we're very excited about that. We've spent a lot of time talking about photo sharing, but from our perspective, video is a key part of that as well. And we have launched video sharing on Flickr this year, and it's going really well. So I think overall, we're just really excited to be one of the leaders in social media, and are looking forward to being part of the innovation that this industry is really bringing about.
And that's great that you mentioned video sharing. When I interviewed Stephanie Bryant, the author of Video Blogging for Dummies, she had mentioned that where she actually got started was in Yahoo groups, and that you guys had the earliest and by far the largest group on video sharing and video blogging, as did anybody on the net.
That's true. I was part of that group.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
It was actually an incredible group. Incredible group of people.
Yeah, she speaks very highly of it, and she says, and that's actually what motivated her to become a video blogger and eventually write the book.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. Where, if our listeners wanted to find more information about Flickr and get involved and set up an account and start doing this, where would they go?
You know, the best place to get started is Flickr.com. So www.flickr.com.
That's pretty simple. And Flickr is spelled Flickr.
Yep, that's it.
That's totally great. Thank you. I really, really want to thank you for being here. Kakul Srivastava.
Yes.
Thank you for being here today.
Thanks so much, Lon.
This has been Lon Safko, the co-author of the Social Media Bible. Be sure to check out our other valuable social media tactics, tools, and strategies that can be found on the Social Media Bible book and at its companion website, thesocialmediabible.com. For more information about me, Lon Safko, please go visit my website at www.lonsafko.com. And thank you so very much, Kakul Srivastava, for being here today and telling us all those great things about Flickr.
Yes.
Thank you for being here today.
Thanks so much, Lon. Take care.